Hi there, this is Pride Daily. An investigation into the former owners of the Pulse nightclub in Florida, where 49 people were shot dead, has been closed. This could have seen Barbara and Rosario Poma charged with involuntary manslaughter over the massacre at the LGBTQ+ venue in 2016, but investigators say it couldn't have been anticipated by the pair. Malcolm Barraza survived and tells ABC News the terror attack's difficult to comprehend.
How a person can do that to someone they don't know. Like, they don't know anything about you, and you just walk into a building and you just go. And you change people's lives, so much, and it's unreal. It's unreal.
Killer Omar Mateen was shot dead by police. The 29-year-old had 2 guns on him. After a big old backlash, there will now be a question on sexuality and gender diversity in the next Australian census. The government was trying to weasel out of this to avoid divisive debates. Yep, just acknowledging the existence of queer people is so darn divisive. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says it's not a U-turn, but it totally is. The next Australian census is in 2026. And Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, turns 30 years old this month, but the classic drag film could have looked very different. Producers have revealed some of the stars who were up for the lead roles, that eventually went to Guy Pearce, Terence Stamp and Hugo Weaving. Among them, you've got Michael Hutchins, Tony Curtis, Jason Donovan, John Cleese and Rupert Everett. Oh, and at one point, even Julie Andrews was being considered. A US women's college is banning transgender students because of someone who's been dead for 124 years. Yep. Sweetbriar College in Virginia says they have to respect the legally binding will of its founder. The document, by Indiana Fletcher Williams, who died in 1900, says the institution must be a place of girls and young women. Erica Smith was the first out trans student there.
When I was admitted to the school, my birth certificate said female, and they were fine with it until they found out I was trans and tried everything they could to get rid of me. Sweetbriar felt safe for a very long time for me. The fact that it's not feeling safe anymore for some people, that needs to change.
Sweetbriar's Student Government Association says it reflects the rise of transphobia in the US. Ireland's Prime Minister says he wants delayed hate crime legislation brought in before the next election, which could be imminent. There'd be tougher punishments for crimes based on protected characteristics such as sexuality, gender and race, plus hate speech laws would be updated. The legislation's been held up for more than a year now over various disagreements, including on the definition of gender. And then LGBTQ+ dog shows had to be cancelled because of hot weather. The annual event at Brighton and Hove Pride in the UK usually features a doggy fashion show, plus awards for the most stylish hound and the best dog in drag. Organisers thought the animal's health might be put at risk by the heat. Australia's ambassador in Iran's in trouble for supporting queer young people on Instagram. Ian McConville's seen with embassy staff marking Wear It Purple Day, which celebrates LGBTQ+ youth. He's been reprimanded by the Foreign Ministry in Tehran for posting insulting, norm-breaking content. 15-year-old George Ray tells ABC News Australia why he's an ambassador for the annual Awareness Day.
Because I was bullied in primary school in year 7, and I think all the hate actually motivated me to do something so that other people don't have to go through what I went through.
Homosexuality is illegal in Iran and gay sex can get you executed. The ambassador says he didn't intend to cause offence. India's dropped its restrictions on people in same-sex relationships having joint bank accounts. There's been a clarification from the Finance Ministry off the back of a government investigation. A panel has been looking into how to avoid LGBTQ+ discrimination in accessing goods and services. And Kit Connor says sex scenes for the new season of Heartstopper took 7 hours to film. The relationship between his character Nick and boyfriend Charlie is stepping up a gear. Sadly, the actor reckons not much of what they filmed actually ends up in the show. Maybe we could all club together and buy the footage. I'll start a crowdfunder. Chris Martin's invited a transgender Coldplay fan on stage during a gig in Ireland. The singer spotted a sign being held up by James.
This is a very brave and beautiful sign. It's the first time anyone's ever put up a sign that says this. And so I'm going to say thank you for giving us this honour, okay? This says, trans fan, Coldplay, saved my life. It's my dream, come on stage. Okay.
This was at Croke Park in Dublin. And Chris Martin wasn't done with being just the bestest trans ally ever.
You saved my life. It's the same. It works both ways, I'm afraid. We need you as much as you need us, you see. That's how it works. James's
sister Hannah has posted online, says hearing the stadium cheer for him was incredible. The bigoted bleatings of a German pastor are costing him €5,000. Olaf Latzel called homosexuality degenerative and demonic and referred to the homo lobby, which sounds like a nightclub. He's been ordered to pay the money to a queer support group. Lovely. Latzel has apologised for what he calls a linguistic slip-up. He could also be disciplined by the Protestant Church. And after Florida's official tourism website removed the LGBTQ+ section, one of its advertisers is demanding a refund. The Stonewall Queer History Museum wants its money back, an apology, and the pages reinstated. Florida's become notorious for its anti-LGBTQ+ restrictions. The state says it's open to all, and the website shouldn't be segregating people. The word you're thinking of is disingenuous. From the looks of it, plans to ban conversion therapy in Scotland are being shelved. The government there says it now favours a UK-wide approach, going along with whatever lawmakers in Westminster come up with. Conversion therapy tries to change or suppress a person's gender identity or sexuality. Tom tells ITV News he went through 3 years of it.
You know, there's a secrecy around it. You're encouraged not actually to tell anybody that you're part of it. A lot of asking questions about family and upbringing, childhood experiences, a lot of that. We were made to feel like we would all achieve what we were looking, which was to eventually marry a woman and have a family.
The Scottish Human Rights Commission says it's deeply disappointed. A queer-inclusive touch rugby tournament returns tomorrow for a 4th year. Pride in Touch in Amsterdam has 16 teams taking part. The sport's a minimal contact version of rugby, where instead of tackles, players just touch each other. Wonderful. Nick Heath is one of the tournament's founders.
Touch rugby is a growing game, particularly in the queer community, where barriers to taking part in team sport are very well known, from feeling excluded or unsupported in our younger years to being in environments where I guess we didn't feel welcome. At Pride in Touch, we're spreading the word that it's a great social team sport.
And you can find out more on the Instagrams at Pride in Touch. And this claims searches on Instagram for Troye Sivan have been censored, and the reason makes no sense. For a time, you'd see a warning instead of results for the gay Australian singer. It said his name was associated with the sale of drugs, with directions to a helpline for substance abuse. The error has now been sorted, but there's been no explanation. I'm Kev McGrath. We kick off a week of queer cheer on Monday.